Hey folks, this is another vlog for y'all. Let me adjust the camera just a tad. There we go. Alright, so goodness gracious, we're in week 9 already of training for the marathon coming up here. Um, I had a bit of an interesting week. I'm very grateful for having a very good coach and what I joke is my trainer, my wife. They've both been very helpful. As I've had some concerns, maybe some aches and pains as I'm doing some of my workouts, particularly threshold workouts. Threshold workouts, for some reason, I get really in my head. Back when I was really obsessed with like my pace, I gotta run faster, I gotta run faster. Um, that always led to injury for me, and I think I'm being maybe a little overly cautious about it, but when my watch is yelling at me, telling me to speed up by 10, 20 seconds every 15, 20 seconds, it feels like, it's hard not to get back into that mentality of like, okay, do I have to go faster? All right, I gotta go faster. And then risking injury. Yesterday, I'm recording this on Sunday. I was running and I thought I was doing pretty good. I was about an hour in, and I got to a point where, for the threshold exercise, I was doing like 6 circuits of like maybe like for me because I just changed my VDOT recently, so I changed the pace from instead of asking me to do like 8:20, it was asking me to do like 9 minutes, which is doable for me. But I think where I was running into issues was my watch was just very aggressively telling me that I was either going too fast, too slow, too fast, too slow. And I'm somebody who I like my music. I like kind of zoning out a bit to focus on just running, um, or lack thereof focus, I guess I should say, like kind of just zoning out. And that just kind of was getting to a point where I was like felt like I was like hitting the gas, hitting the brakes, hitting the gas, hitting the brakes. And I had honestly for the first time in a long time, I had some knee issues. Like it just like my knee acted up a bit. But then I retraced my steps. So, I got home. I got about an hour through the workout. It was an hour 15 for the workout, so I'm not kicking myself too hard there. I sent an email to the coach, and then Coach Baldwin, he's awesome. He sent me a detailed response, kind of like some concerns about like my health. Maybe we should look at dialing back, updating my VDOT, and some workouts for like knee strengthening. Um, I had just changed my VDOT, so I don't think that was necessarily something that I needed to do again, just because I feel like my numbers are pretty accurate. But I brought those back, like all that info and feedback from Coach with my trainer, my wife, and she, her and I sat down over dinner and we were talking about it, and it was good to just have that discussion, that dialogue, and we looked through my watch and we figured out a way to turn off the audio prompts. So I'll still be able to see like, hey, I probably need to speed up a bit here, but it's one extra step of having that, how should I say, distraction. Like before, where I used to always just be like, look down my watch. Now I don't do it as much. And if there's not an audio prompt on there, I might kind of take a glance every little bit just to kind of keep up on it. I think it's just when you load workouts into Garmin, it kind of like overrides how you like to do your alerts. So I'm hoping by like just completely going back to the system settings and turning off audio alerts altogether, we'll see. I mean, even if it doesn't work out that way, I'm not too far off because again, it was asking me to do like a 9 minute pace, and I was at like 9:10, 9:15, and it was more annoying than anything. And I get the purpose of threshold training is to get you to get to like to be faster, to kind of keep pushing that lactate threshold, to keep getting quicker in the long run. And I think I'm doing that to some extent. I don't think every workout is going to be 100% perfect. Um, strides are going well. Normal runs are feeling great. Knock on wood, my Achilles haven't really had any issues so far, and that's really the biggest thing I was worried about on the onset of this. We are 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks away from my next half marathon. I had scheduled as a tune-up race, so I'm looking forward to that. Aside from that, really, like that's about it as far as training. Kind of getting into the channel here. I was a day late on a review. I'm sorry for that. I'm hoping to stockpile some reviews here, but I'm also kind of reaching a point where I'm kind of second guessing buying a lot of different shoes just because I want to, one, catch up on what I got, and then two, I'm not sure what the release schedule is going to look like once I get through this batch. I still have another 6-7 shoes to review, but I don't want to get to a point where it's like I've completely shored up all of the supply of shoes. Maybe then we look at extended run reviews, but we'll figure it out. Just reviewed the Puma Magnify Nitro 3. Very good shoe. I highly recommend that shoe. Next review coming up is the Brooks Glycerin Max 2. I've been kind of alluding to that review around the corner. I'll leave it at that for now. Oh, geez, let's see. I've been using Junk Brand, and I'm hoping to get a review up for their stuff here soon. It's been great now that I've been able to somewhat regularly wear my hair up when I run. Not for like a long period of time, but maybe the first mile or so it holds. But the Junk Brand stuff's really nice because it keeps hair out of my face and also helps with all that sweating. It's pretty fun too. Like there's a lot of cool little designs, like anime designs and kids cartoons, you name it. Just thinking out loud here. Oh, yeah. For Guilty Gear Strive, I got my controller fixed. Let me see if I can get a good zoom in on it. I've been using like a Genesis style controller. I really like it, particularly like this pad's like it's a elevated D-pad or a floating D-pad. I think they call it, not elevated. A little less intensive on my fingers, but it's smaller too. I got really small hands, so it's nice that I can have that layout like that. Because I do prefer controllers over like fight sticks and arcade pads, just because of I have really short tendons in my fingers. So, yeah. Oh goodness gracious! You know what? I think I'm gonna call this here because I still got to do a review and then I'll edit it. So. This will be going up. I'm going to try to start putting my vlogs on Mondays just so that I can kind of have some spread out content. Trying to think if there's anything else while I'm here with y'all. I can't really think of it. So hope you're all staying healthy. Hope you're all staying safe. And please let me know if you have any requests for videos or reviews. Be more than happy to look into those. Hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. Take care.